What is up, everybody?
Huge weekend. Big Steelers win.
Wow.
Chris Boswell was all we need to know.
All I can say is, wow, football is back, baby.
It is so back. Good to be back.
So back.
Yeah.
We're off to see the Wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. All right.
Let's get into it.
Steelers Falcons 18-10. Dub 1-0, as we all predicted, right?
Yeah, killer
Sure
defense.
Arthur Smith gets his revenge game. Steelers get the dub, and somehow don't even score a touchdown.
No Russell Wilson either.
Yeah, we all thought
They
that.
need to score touchdowns with how well the defense plays.
Yeah, we got the Wizard of Oz. And the depoy, TJ Watt.
Yeah.
TJ Watt. Wattage.
So let's start off. Justin Fields. He
We-
listed as week 1 starter.
Yeah, and it was the day of the game, right? Because Russell Wilson, again, retweaked his calf after being named the starting quarterback on Tuesday of last week to start the week.
And he was still going through warm-ups
Yeah.
Sunday morning. I mean, he was questionable. I mean, they didn't know if he was going to come out and play. He was still trying to warm up. I mean, you could tell he wanted to play, but obviously if you're not 100%, we need guys that are healthy.
That just shows like the amount of like,
He wants
yeah, like and it shows the Steelers, like it shows the amount of confidence that they have in Fields. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, he took most of the first team reps anyways.
Yeah,
throughout camp.
all through camp. And I saw reports that said that Russell Wilson was not happy with the Steelers' decision to start Fields.
Yeah.
So,
What else can you do? Send him out there and risk worse injury?
yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, you see with, especially calf injuries, like that does lead into worse injuries, especially like I've seen,
Joe Burrow.
yeah,
Shoot.
Kevin Durant, like, had a calf injury, tried to play through it, tore his Achilles.
Yep.
Like, you don't want that. And
Let's get healthy.
that shows the amount of confidence, like I said, that Mike Tomlin especially has in Fields. And you know, it wasn't pretty. You know, like I think it was kind of ugly, but it was a different like kind of ugly than like what we're used to seeing.
I
He
feel like
took care of the ball well.
Yeah,
He
I
didn't
feel like
put the ball in
Fields-
any bad positions.
in an overall aspect of it, Fields played a good game.
yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
we didn't finish a couple drives where touchdowns would have gave us a lot of cushion.
That
Yeah.
pass interference with Pickens was a bunch of bull crap.
That was a
Shit-
terrible call.
That shit ended up in 6.
I thought the refs were bad all game.
Yes.
Honestly, the strip sack from TJ Watt where they called him
Two
offsides.
sacks.
Yeah,
I understand.
they called him offsides on that strip sack.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're joking. And then I saw the ref apologize to
Yeah.
TJ and
At
said that he
halftime.
missed it.
Yeah.
And said he missed it. So that's just like the play right after that. They scored a touchdown.
I feel like at that point, with the amount of replay that's out there, yeah, I mean, you can't review all
every-
penalties.
yeah.
But I mean, at some point, someone up in the booth got
Like maybe if it
to
leads,
be like, "Hey, ref, like that was a bad call."
for a perfect example, what if like say like it leads to a turnover?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Or like a pass interference
Well,
or
I mean,
something.
it did.
Or
I mean, we strip sacked it.
Yeah.
TJ jumped on the ball.
So maybe like in the
Yeah.
future, if it leads to a turnover, then it's reviewable because all
Yeah.
turnovers
All
are
turnovers,
reviewable.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future they do something like that.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think Fields played bad. His stats up here: 17 for 23,
Yeah.
156 yards. I mean, again, no touchdowns on the board, but that's what we want. Obviously, we want touchdowns. But I mean-
137 rush yards.
Yeah.
turnovers.
Yeah, 14 for 57 rushing. That's good. And one thing I noticed about that too is like a lot of his rushes weren't necessarily designs. Like he,
A lot of them were dropping back to pass and just take it off.
yeah, and that's what he did
He
so
was
good.
good.
He did that so good in Chicago. So I'm excited to see that continue on with Pittsburgh, especially with like our line's a little shaky. Like just the fact the guys being a little banged up, guys playing out of position and stuff. So that's something that's a huge plus for the Steelers to have because last year we had a great old Kenny Pickett who couldn't feel a pressure to save his life, followed up by Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph. So it's nice to
So-
see someone who can.
I'd like to see them do something better with force and close. Whenever they had that,
Well,
they
how
tried
about the
that
play
quarterback
calling?
sneaky.
I know.
Arthur Smith. How about the new play calling? I could tell a difference
Oh, you can completely tell a
I
difference.
can
Like,
tell he was being conservative in the beginning.
at the beginning.
here's what worries me though: is he being conservative because Mike Tomlin's telling him to be conservative, or is he being conservative because of what he sees? Because now it's
Me
like,
personally, I feel like he was trying to establish the run, then to set up the play action because
I think
you could tell that
you
they
do that
wanted
with
to
Fields
get
getting in there his first game. You establish that run, and then you let Fields get settled in.
And I think a problem with the reason we didn't necessarily establish the play action, I think, is because early on, if you remember, Fields on 1st and 10 had that fumble under center.
That's the first
So then they started,
offense,
So then they just started going into pistol.
Yeah.
Like, you have to get comfortable under center. Like, I don't care, like you see teams all across the country run spread offense and whatnot, but like you have to be comfortable like under center. You have to.
I think that was a key thing that came into play with Atlanta. I mean, the announcers nonstop. Kirk Cousins has never been in a pistol. He was in pistol.
Yeah.
Over 80% of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, as a veteran QB in the league, I mean, he's
Especially when he's not bad in that
33.
Yeah.
33,
And
34.
one thing I saw about him is I felt like Kirk Cousins felt so uncomfortable the whole game, and
I mean, when
he
you
did
got,
come off a torn Achilles, right? Yeah, torn Achilles.
And having TJ running after you, I'd be scared too.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have any. He said he didn't have any physical contact within camp. I mean, he obviously came into the first week. I mean, dry. I mean, he didn't get any
no
action.
preseason reps.
You could tell he looked uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I mean,
And our defense played great.
Yeah.
I mean, we dropped what could have been probably pick 6. I think the first drive.
We had 2 interceptions, 2 sacks, which should have been 4 sacks.
Yeah.
and TJ Watt did recover a fumble. So we had 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
And something that literally is going so unnoticed is the fact that Joey Porter Jr. absolutely locked up Drake London.
Yeah.
Like, I think he had 2 catches for 11 yards.
Yeah.
Like, that is big time. That is big
That's what
time.
we need.
We contained Bijan. He was 18 for 68. Like, that's big time. It's not like we're playing against any scrubs.
The big thing too, second half shutout.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have it pulled up here. They have Atlanta had 7 drives that was only 5 plays or less. Out of I think they only had 11 drives all game.
Yeah.
5 plays or less for 7 out of those drives. A lot of 3 and outs for the Steelers. They were all over Atlanta.
And a key player, that part of that, Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He did have a great game, which was good to see because he just got that new 3-year contract extension with a lot of money guaranteed. So
Everyone's worried.
I mean,
about
right at the
injuries.
beginning there, they did drive the ball right down the field.
Yeah.
But what they were doing, they were running the ball away from TJ.
yeah,
The whole drive down the field.
and you got
you seen TJ though. Later on, he was really coming down the line there and getting from behind, so that was good. They made the adjustments. And
you got to think especially in all of football, a team. For the example, you say that their best drive was the first drive where they marched down the field.
Yeah.
Their team, the Falcons, had probably been preparing to run that first drive for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
they got them plays.
Yeah.
They probably had at least 8 or 9
Yeah.
on the play sheet ready to go.
Exactly.
First drive versus Steelers.
And that's that's expected when we give up a field goal. So that's okay. Again, it was sloppy, but you should expect them to first game of the season, first series of the season.
Everyone
a lot of our
playing
defensive
together.
players
Yeah.
barely getting any reps in preseason too.
Yeah.
Like Cam,
TJ,
Smith, TJ.
Minka didn't play at all in the preseason. Even Patrick Queen barely played in the preseason.
play in preseason?
He did.
I think he did play a little bit.
But yeah,
I love that.
That's
pickup
a
that
long
we got. He played great on defense, back at our safety position. I mean, all around, I think our defense showed why we're top 5 every year. I mean,
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think it's only going to get better.
Yep.
Praying no injuries, but I think this is an unbelievable defense that we're going to be. So, Deshaun Elliott, picking him up and having him play at safety, and then who's the corner that had the pick? Dante Jackson,
yeah.
right?
Who you traded Deontay for?
Yeah, that's huge. That's big time.
Yeah.
So
And the offense will come. I mean, the Steelers had 10 offensive possessions, 6 of them were field goals. So 4 drives they punted, and 3 were punts, and 1 was a turnover on downs.
speaking
So-
of punting, dude.
They're driving the ball down the field.
Yeah, they are. But speaking of punting, I'm literally hoping that injury to our punter,
Yep.
I'm
It's
hoping,
season.
season ending,
But hopefully not career.
and I hope we can bring somebody in.
We did. We brought,
I'm just saying to actually replace him and be a good punter. We have not had a
need
good
someone
punter
that can
in
flip the
years.
field. Yeah.
Yes, and that punter was solid, dude. He was one of the best punters we've had in a long time.
Yep.
So I'm really hoping that the guy they bring in can hopefully be a good punter. As crazy as that is to say, you need a good punter.
Boswell coming in, that punt was huge. I mean, that was the key point in our game. We were pinned deep on our own side of the field, and he flipped the field. He took them down to their own 40, which was good.
As well as Scotty Miller having that field goal to make it an 8-point game.
Is that it held the field goal?
Yeah.
I mean, they said Boswell said he practiced
during a week, so it pays off. You got to be ready for those situations.
That's just a straight up MVP, man. MVP. Who would have thought week 1 MVP?
I mean, look what happened last year. When we played the Bengals.
Yeah.
And
their long snapper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was a couple years ago. I think it was 2021.
And that led to that missed field goal or block extra point.
Sent us into overtime.
And we won.
Yep.
Any stats you guys see out here that stand out? I truly like George Pickens, 6 for 85.
Yeah. I think to me the biggest thing is especially coming up next week, playing against the Broncos and Pat Surtain, he held DK Metcalf to 4 catches for 27 yards.
He's going to shadow
George Pickens. And if you look at what the Steelers did against the Falcons, Pat Freiermuth is the second leading receiver with 4 catches for 27 yards.
Yeah, where's
the Steelers need to get the other receivers involved because we're going to have to do that against the Broncos.
Van Jefferson didn't have a catch. Calvin Austin didn't have a catch.
Yeah. So we're going to need to work the ball.
Did any of the receiver have a catch other than George Pickens? I don't think so.
I don't really say sure.
A
key thing too, we might be getting Roman Wilson back.
We need Roman Wilson back. We need something.
We need something coming out of the slot.
Yeah, we need to play out of the
slot. We need someone shifty out of the slot. I know they line George Pickens in the slot here and there, but we need another one to just take some pressure off. And I mean, I'm not going to write off no Van Jefferson. I like him. I think he's going to be good for us.
We need to send him on a deep shot. What do you think in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I mean, and that leads to the play with the play actions,
Yeah.
So if we
I think we established the run all right to be able to set up the play action.
Yeah.
I mean, when we play the Broncos next week, they gave up 100 yards to Kenneth Walker. I think, and Najee, I feel like he's gonna have a 100-yard day.
Najee, yeah.
We caught the rest of Jalen Warren. I mean, he was
Yeah,
up there couple snaps.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can get the 1-2 punch a little bit.
I think I noticed with Jalen Warren, they used him a lot in just pass protection, and he's unbelievable in pass protection. Yeah, they were using him for pass protection, which was good.
I did also notice Cordero Patterson a couple times.
Yeah. I mean, I think as the season goes on, I think schemes will continue to develop. I think players will continue to develop. And what makes teams great is whenever you have a guy that randomly goes off for 6 and 90, or when you have a running back that just takes over a game and goes 20 for a $110 and a touchdown.
When you can hand the ball off and get 5 yards a pop.
Yeah.
That'll win you games.
Yeah.
As long as you're moving the chains, keeping the defense off the field. I mean, if our defense is rested up,
they were getting off the field.
Yeah, we're in perfect shape.
And we're going to be in every game as long as our defense stays pretty solid, healthy.
Yep.
And that's just the Steeler way. As Tomlin would say, that the standard is the standard. The standard is the standard. Did you know that? I do. The standard is the standard.
So, I mean, this leads us to next week. We play the Broncos. I did see that they were already maybe saying that Justin Fields will probably be starting.
Which surprises me because
I think that's the right move.
You would start Fields?
I mean, as much as you'd like to see Russell go against the Broncos and play his whole team, I think the way that Justin Fields took care of the ball, the Broncos are a good team, but they're not a great team. So I feel like Fields can go in there and get the job done again. And you let Russell just sit again and he'll, I mean, you maybe even sit him week 3 or something and then bring him back for the home. Or maybe you bring him back for the home opener. Just depending on how he feels. But I mean, once again, you just got to see how Fields is playing.
Yeah, I mean,
Fields is going to keep on improving the more he keeps playing.
If Fields comes out and plays great and say throws for 220, 2 touchdowns, and I mean we're scoring touchdowns next week.
It's hard to go away from him.
Yeah, I mean, how do you go away from him? I mean, if he's not throwing the ball over 1 and he's scoring touchdowns, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say this, because I was somebody who said I prefer Fields to start week 1, but I didn't think they would, which they weren't. But I'm just saying I assumed they were going to go with Russell Wilson. Yeah. If Russell Wilson is healthy, I would start him.
Yeah.
I would start Russell Wilson. I mean,
at some point,
again,
he's going to be mad.
I just don't think you can do it after last week.
I mean, in my opinion, he's the veteran. He's the captain he got voted captain by his teammates. Like, you got to give him a chance. You signed him up to a 1-year deal to give him a chance. And
I mean, injuries are a part of the game.
Yeah, they are.
Like, you can't just punish him just because.
And Tomlin says he's like a huge believer in you not losing your spot because of injury. Like, you don't lose a starting job because of injury. He said that before, and I mean it also confuses me because he said that he's prepping Fields to start, like you said. Yeah. So it's tricky. It's interesting. Does anyone know who's favored for the Steelers Broncos?
The Steelers are favored.
No, the spread is.
I think it's 3.5.
Steelers favored 3.5 on the road at Mile High Stadium. Dude, do you remember Ryan Clark used to not be able to play in these games?
Yeah, I think he had some type of
condition. He has like breathing, and he used to not be
do too good with how high altitude.
Yeah, which that'll be interesting to see because it's only week 2, so chances are guys are still a little winded. So
I mean,
it's going to be interesting to see these guys play at Mile High Stadium.
Yeah. I think the Steelers are going to destroy them.
Do you think?
I mean,
I hope. I mean,
I don't think the Steelers have the team.
Bo Nix didn't play that great against the Seahawks. I mean, what did he get? He went 26 of 42, 138 yards passing on 26 completions.
And you said 46 attempts?
42 attempts.
42 attempts.
2 interceptions. Per each completion, that's only 5 yards.
Yeah.
And like I said, Cortland Sutton had 4 catches for 29 yards.
Yeah. Get Joey Porter on?
Yeah.
That might be 2 catches for 10 yards.
And they didn't run the ball that well either.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if we can
if the Steelers defense plays the way they did in that second half, I mean, basically the whole game, it was just those penalties in the beginning. I mean, I feel like
if Steelers play the way they played last week,
I think there's no doubt that
they're going to win, and it's going to be a hawk tour. It's
going to be well over 3.5 points.
Yeah. I mean, if our defense can play that way and keep playing that way, how do you not expect us? How do you not expect us to be in every single game and have a chance to win?
You're right. Speaking of Hawk Tua, did you guys see that she signed with Better Picks? Do you see she signed with Better Picks?
Better Picks needs to get to
I know. Better Picks and Jake Paul. I feel like that's so random. That's so random to me just because, like, she didn't even have anything to do with sports. Yeah. But, I mean, she has her podcast now, Talking Tua, right?
Yeah.
Talking Tua. That'll be funny.
Yeah.
Literally, I just don't understand how you get the Hawk Tua girl to Better Picks.
Right.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand.
You want to try to get her on this podcast?
We should get Hawk Tua on this podcast.
Yeah.
Spit on that thing.
All right, let's jump into week 2 here before Jalen gets his
Hawk Tua
loses his concentration here.
Thursday night, Bills and Dolphins.
Good one here.
Both teams 1-0. Speaking of Hawk Tua will be playing for the Dolphins. Yeah. Did you guys? I know you saw it. Tyreek Hill get arrested on game day.
Did you see the body?
I did see the body cam.
I mean, now there's all these allegations now that he was speeding, and then he rolled down his window, then rolled it back up. I mean, you never know. I mean, people say one thing, and then there's other things. I mean, let them in.
Yeah.
We're just the outsiders.
Let's just stay away from that. We don't have 4 minutes.
So who are you taking Thursday night?
Bills Dolphins. This is going to be a great game.
I think the Dolphins are going to win. I think they got too much offensive firepower.
Both teams, their defense did not play good week 1. So
no,
I'm taking the Dolphins. Like Zach said, more offensive firepower.
I'm going to go with the Fins as well. I like Dolphins in this.
Yeah, especially playing at home.
49ers Vikings.
I think this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, 49ers. But I think,
Sam Darnold played good.
But they played the Giants.
I know. Darnold played good, though, so he had a good game.
Yeah. I picked that one wrong last week. I got the Giants, so that was horrible.
If you can have the 49ers running the ball like he did, you're solid.
Yeah.
So I'm going for
By the way, Christian McCaffrey, I saw, is likely to be out for week 2.
It don't matter what their offensive line. You can put anybody in it.
Jordan Mason.
You can put Trent Williams in at running back.
Trent Williams, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Big old Trent Will.
Seahawks, Patriots.
So this makes me think now, because Patriots go in and beat the Bengals.
Screwed me out of 22 grand. Unreal.
But I think the Seahawks did play well against the Broncos, so I don't see why the Seahawks can't go into New England and win. I'm going to take Seahawks.
I'm going to take the Patriots.
I think I'm going to take the Patriots too.
I think Jacoby Brissett. I think he's
a vet.
Yeah,
he's a vet, and
win ball games.
yeah, he's a vet, and I think is that their home opener?
Yeah.
That's their home opener, so that's going to be pretty electric for Mayo, the new head coach. You know, I'm going to go Patriots there. I like Patriots. I'm hardly against them. I like it.
Giants, Commanders. Commanders. I have Jaden Daniels on my fantasy team. I was watching that game here and there.
Did he do it?
They were moving the ball.
He'll rush for over 100 yards.
I mean, he wasn't throwing the ball well, but he was running the ball. He was making things happen. He wasn't throwing the ball more than 8 yards down the field. Yeah. I think they let him
by design.
Open up. I don't know if he was just not calm back here, but he was getting the ball
out quick.
Yeah, I'm taking the Commanders.
I don't know who I like here. I'm gonna go.
Did you watch the Giants play?
I did watch the Giants play.
That Danny Dimes has 4 touchdown passes thrown to the opposite team.
Yeah.
And he has 2 thrown to his team.
So you want me to get Commanders?
We shouldn't just do a little ease bot like we did last week with the Patriots, but come on now.
You know what? Give me the football team. Give me the Washington football team.
All right.
Wasn't that their old name?
Chargers and
Panthers. Panthers were dog water. They were seriously horrible. Poor Deontay Dropson, man. Did he even have a catch last week? Chargers by 1 million.
That's an easy one. Saints and Cowboys. Cowboys play great.
And Saints killed. Was that the Panthers?
Yeah, it was.
Saints killed the Panthers. Let's go, boys. Give me them boys. I don't like them boys, though.
Colts and Packers. No Jordan Love.
No Jordan Love.
5 seconds left in the
Malik
game.
Willis will be starting for the Packers.
Yeah. 5 seconds left in the game. Nasty injury. Hate to see it.
This game's going to be iffy, but I think I'm going to take the Colts for the sheer fact of them playing very well against the Texans.
Yeah, I'd do the same.
Yeah.
I just don't think Malik Willis has enough time with the team to come in there and play.
And he was horrible when he played for the Titans.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Plus, he just got signed on by
Liberty native, but just don't think he's going to get it done for the Packers.
Yeah. No.
Browns and Jaguars.
I'm going to take the Jaguars. I mean,
I'm
the Browns.
taking Jaguars as well.
The Browns were
against Miami.
Deshaun Watson was. I mean, he's got to get something going in Cleveland.
That has to be the worst. That has to be the worst feeling.
I'm not rooting him on at all, but I mean, you get paid all that money, and
you give up multiple first-round picks.
Yeah.
I see that. Do you think? I mean, Deshaun Watson, he starts playing like at say the next 3-4 weeks, like week 4, they're 0-4. Jameis Winston get a shot.
He should get a shot this week.
You think?
I mean,
yes.
He's not
against the Cowboys defense. I mean, the Cowboys defense is talking.
Jaguars this week. Oh, from last week.
Yeah.
I know it is, but Deshaun Watson, when has he ever been good for the Browns? It's not like it's like a surprise. Like he has not been good for every year that he's dressed for them.
Yeah.
Look what happened when they went to Flacco last year. They went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The playoffs. They went to the playoffs.
Talking about the Browns in the playoffs.
Oh, God.
All right, I'm taking the Jaguars.
I'll take the Jags.
Yeah. Jets and Titans.
Oh God.
I mean, Titans
Rodgers would have let down.
Don't talk about my MVP.
He looked scared a little bit back there.
He took a whole year off. Give him a game. And he also played against the 49ers defense. Let's be real. He needs some time. I'm still riding strong for my MVP. Still riding strong for my Jets Super Bowl champs. Okay? I'm standing on business, as them young folks say. I'm standing on business. Give me the Jets.
I'm taking the Jets.
Yeah, Jets.
All right, we got Buccaneers at the Lions.
Buccaneers and Baker played unbelievable this last week.
This is another playoff rematch.
This is a playoff rematch?
Playoff rematches for the Lions.
I love the Lions, but, I mean, the way Baker Mayfield was
I know. He played great. Rashad White played great in the receiving game. Yeah. Bucky Irving played great.
I mean, Lions went up against a tough Rams team, and they were a slow start.
I think I'm taking the Lions. I don't think playing in Detroit is tough,
especially now. It's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think the Buccaneers will cover the spread. I think it might be like a 7 or something like that, which is kind of crazy, but I think
give me the
Lions.
Lions.
You want the Bucks?
Give me the Bucks. I'm trusting Baker Mayfield. I'm loving his deal. I'm loving him on that team. He's a perfect fit.
He is a perfect fit. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are still great.
Yep. I'm taking the Bucs.
Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers too.
Are you kidding me? I mean, these are the deal breakers here.
I'm gonna
The
take
Lions
the
and
Tampa
the
Bay
Seahawks.
Buccaneers too, man.
Lions and Seahawks are going to take me past you too.
Ravens
And Raiders in Baltimore. Ravens 0-1
Yeah.
after a great. What was that? Was that
off the big toe?
was that Thursday night?
Yeah.
They were 0-1 by a big toe.
Yep.
And you got to take the Ravens here.
Ravens.
Yeah, you got to take the Ravens. They played well. Lamar Jackson looked like Heisman candidate running back again. Like,
Mark Andrews was looking like a left tackle out there.
it was Mark Andrews. You mean
Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, Isaiah Likely was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, their offense is going to be deadly this year.
Derrick Henry surprised me. He didn't really do too much.
I mean, they had a lot of design runs for Lamar.
I know.
Which was surprising.
I kind of figured it was coming. I mean, they kept on talking about him losing weight, getting thin again, being faster.
Yeah.
I figured that they were going to try and run him a little bit.
Hopefully you can stay.
And they'll be sneaky running with him whenever you got Derrick Henry. You got to worry about the middle.
Yeah, I'm taking Ravens, obviously.
Ravens.
Rams Cardinals. This game is this game is going to be great. I think, especially the Cardinals are looking pretty tough. They play the Bills pretty strong.
Yep.
Rams are always good with McVay. Like they always stay in games or find themselves in games.
Mm-hmm.
No Puka Nakua, but I mean Cooper Kupp looked unbelievable.
Back to his old self.
Yeah, good to see him back because I love Cooper Kupp, Crown King.
I mean, Cardinals came out on a hot start against the Bills.
What was it, like 17-0 or something?
Yeah.
Or 17-3?
I mean, special teams helped them out a lot. I think they did have a big return. Was it for a touchdown or was it just a big return? I can't remember.
I think it ended up being a touchdown.
But, yeah, I mean,
I think I'm taking the Cardinals.
I'm taking the Rams.
I'm going to take the Cardinals here, too.
Taking the Rams.
I'm going to take Cardinals.
I think Kyler Murray's going to get the job done.
Yeah, I like Kyler Murray. All right, so to finish off Bengals Chiefs, we all were riding Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
All riding Chiefs there. Tay will be in the building, looking beautiful as ever.
Right, Tony Romo announcing them. Yeah, they're going to be loving them.
That's good.
Over under 15 times should get shown on television.
It depends on how many catches Travis Kelce has.
Hopefully over because I have Kelsey on fantasy. So
Steelers, Broncos, we went over them.
Steelers.
We're all riding with the
Steelers,
Steelers.
500.
Yep.
So we got
Sunday
Sunday
night.
night. We got Chicago going into Houston.
I think it's a no doubter.
Yeah,
Texans are going to win that game.
I like Texans there. They're a power.
Not
team.
one offensive touchdown from Chicago.
Yep.
Like I
Yeah,
said,
Caleb
it's
Williams did
the
not
same.
play a great game at all.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Under 100 yards passing.
Maybe that's not okay.
DeAndre Swift, 30 yards rushing.
My Super Bowl team, Houston.
Joe Mixon carried that
Guys
game.
are
Fresh
guys
team.
are hating on it.
Joe Mixon had a great game. He's going to be an underrated player there.
You know,
So underrated player.
He's a consistent 1,000-yard
I
rusher.
feel like he just puts that whole offense together.
Yep.
They needed a good running back there.
Yeah.
Who did they have last year? Was it Singletary?
Singletary.
Yeah.
Which he
Yeah.
did not play bad. He was
They
actually
still had
pretty
Damian
decent.
Pierce too,
Yeah.
but
So then imagine
You gotta
getting
push
Joe
this
Mixon.
out.
Like Joe Mixon is probably going to be a workhorse.
I feel like that's what's hurting the Bengals pretty bad too. They
Yeah,
had
no.
Zach Moss is mediocre, but he ain't nothing what Joe Mixon was.
No.
So that hurts them big
So
time.
we got Monday Night Football, Falcons and Eagles. You guys
Super Bowl team.
2 birds.
Saquon Barkley,
Yeah.
3 touchdowns.
Saquon had an unbelievable
It's crazy.
performance there, and their offense is so tough.
I hate to say it. I said it last episode. I'm not a Philly fan, but I mean, after watching that game,
They're gonna be good.
They're fun to watch.
they
They're
are.
so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like they're fun to bet on. They're fun to watch.
That defense.
I mean, I've always been a Saquon Barkley fan too, since watching him throughout my high school football time. I mean, watching
Oh my god.
that's someone you look up to, and that's
He's a
like that's the
kid.
player you want to be.
They're not Penn State. You don't talk about them Penn State ever.
We are.
No, we are not.
We were
But-
there over the weekend. It was a great time.
Great trip, great game. Penn State barely won.
Let's get through this pick, and we can talk about that game
Wow.
since we were at it. But I'm taking.
We're all taking Philly.
Philly.
Fly Eagles fly.
So,
Eagles fly.
little weekend recap. We took a little trip up to Penn State.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Great time.
Brothers getting married, so we went to
Took the boys out to the Penn State game.
Yep. Great
Great
game.
time.
Lost some money because I took.
Nobody
Penn
would have
State
thought
for
Penn
it.
State wouldn't have only
Bowling
won 7,
Green.
but
Bowling
Let me tell
Green.
you, Their offense came ready to play. The whole team came ready to play.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a great game to watch. Like, at least I'm happy it wasn't a blowout. You know, those are like fun games to watch.
Yeah.
Well,
Stadium was crazy. It was rocking.
Yeah.
Great time at
great.
champs after.
It was a
They're
great
saying,
time.
We were sweating out sports bets.
they're saying we are Penn State, and I'm like, no. Hail to Pitt, baby. Hail to Pitt. And
Pitt with a big win.
Pitt came back down 21 points in the
I
fourth
couldn't believe
quarter,
it.
which was huge. And we're all going to be in Pittsburgh for
Saturday.
first Pitt versus West Virginia in the backyard brawl. Do we want to do one prediction for that real quick before we end it? Pitt versus West Virginia for the backyard brawl.
You know I'm not that high on Pitt this year. Pitt is surprising me though with their offense, but
Their quarterback, ACC Rookie of the Week twice in a row. He's tough, dude. He's
it's
tough.
gonna be a great game.
It's gonna be a great game.
But
Give me Pitt.
I'm taking West Virginia.
Give me Pitt, and I think West Virginia's favored by 7, but I'm still taking Pitt.
I think it's a tight game. I think it might come down.
If it's 7 spread, I would take Pitt to cover that spread.
Yeah.
But I think West Virginia's gonna win.
I think it's going to be 28-24 game.
Who?
Pitt.
Hail to Pitt.
At home,
Yes.
stadium's going to be packed. I
Yes.
mean, backyard brawl.
It's
A
going to
lot
be
of West Virginia's
unbelievable
guys are going to be
atmosphere.
up there.
West Virginia.
I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping that
Country roads.
Pitt can come in,
Go back home.
and I'm hoping Pitt can come in and take care of business at home.
They will.
and win.
They will. You heard it here first, baby.
I'm with Pitt.
Book it. Pitt. Book it.
Pitt.
Steelers Nation.
Yeah.
So that does it.
That
for the
concludes
weekend.
our second podcast here.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Comment what you guys want to see next. I mean,
Yeah, I think one of our next podcasts, we're going to be moving locations, possibly headed to a different outside area, possibly. We're thinking about it, just seeing where we go from there.
Got some big things coming. We got a lot
Then
of
we still plan on wanting to go down to the Steelers
stadium.
Stadium for
Yeah.
the home opener.
And again, you know, couldn't do this without Chase. So
Yeah.
shout out Chase as always. You know, he's the guy that keeps it going for us, makes it easy, makes our job easy. You know, so thankful for him as always. And
Hey, another shout out. Get them lawns looking right. Price is seasonal.
we're always getting that.
Always
looking
gotta shout
right.
them out.
Leaves are about to be dropping.
I know leaves are about to be dropping. Hit us up. We'll get some yard cleanup for you. But other than that, yeah. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for all
And,
the support. We had a good show in the last video.
Yeah, roll Steelers, baby.
Let's go.
Roll Steelers.
Peace.
Here we go.
Here we go.